but I want to. I feel really blessed to have been able to create this particular project because I got better doing workshops. You know, as I went along, and I made a lot of mistakes, but through those mistakes, it was a whole learning process. And so it was my granddaughter who stopped me one day. She said, "Grandma, you're always talking about history. You don't know who you are." Right, I couldn't say nothing because she was right. And I thought back to the 1960s. Okay, I'm dating myself. Okay, I was born in 1950. Okay, 1950. And thank you. And so about time the 60s rolled around, we changed our hair and how we were defined, and we're going to determine our own destiny. We were a Black Studies department, and but there was always that question, okay, we Black, now what? And we really didn't have too much of a clue. And I wish this technology that we have now, if we had it then, I would have a family encyclopedia by now. And also, not only myself, but throughout the school districts, instead of being fed all these fairy tales and nonsense about history, we could know exactly who we are, how we got here. We could document our family trees. We could find relatives, known and unknown, living relatives. I'm up to 10 living African relatives. 10. Then we were scrambling around, I'm going to change my name. Don't call me by my government name. Call me this, call me that, but now I have so many African last names, and that I'm claiming, because I met one from Ghana. His last name is Okorle. I have about 4 Nigerian. I'm going to mess up their names. Chibi EJ Mofo. I just met another one. Her name is Yusawa Ba. She's from Senegal. Another one, Mohammed Jakate. He's also from Senegal. And the rest of the names, I know I would terribly mess them up. This is why we need African languages in the school, so we can reclaim our languages and really know the depth of who we are. So with this grant, I was able to produce 3 workshops, and I wanted it to be really special. So I was able to buy some genealogy DNA testing kits. Now, I was not going to test. I was one of those conspiracy theorists. Oh, they not going to get my one. But I kept thinking, well, my granddaughter was right. And all throughout history, the government did not want us, the slave owners did not want us to know who we are, where we came from. They didn't want us to read or write. So I kind of weighed that out and said, you know what, I need to find out who I am. I need to know who my ancestors are. And if this technology is available, I'm going to take that leap of faith. And oh my God, by the time when I got my results back, I had 965 new cousins. And the 2 at the anonymous cousins at the top of my list, well, it ended up on the Finding Your Roots show. And y'all not gonna guess who was at the top of the list. Okay, top of the list. Did I tell you? I told you.
You did. Let them do this.
Oh, can I tell y'all who it was? Ooh, I'm so excited. LL Cool J. And so we had a family reunion, and this is how powerful genealogy is. My father was a professional boxer. His name was John Henry Lewis. He was the light heavyweight champion of the world. He won the title in 1935 and retired in 1939. And for Mr. LL Cool J to find out that he's related to a boxing family, not only a boxing family, but a whole lineage. So I have traced my lineage back to Thomas DeMore, So I've got documentation not only here that there were free black people, native black people here that had came way before the other, the colonists came, the Moors in Sussex County, Delaware, with Spain, and anyway, the whole Mali Empire. It's gotten deep. It's gotten real deep. And so, so with these workshops, I was able to do three. One was like a introduction into genealogy and what services are out there and how to not navigate the services, because it can be real tricky. You can give up real quick, like, oh my God, it's overwhelming. And so they were working workshops and a lot of interactions, and then the second one we started building our family trees. And people went home and started looking in their Bibles and photographs and asking questions to the elders and started writing down things and putting things on a timeline. And so the third one was the big reveal, which was like 6 weeks later. And that those who had tested and got their results back, there were a couple of young ladies who were adopted. And I never saw them smile like that. To know and finally find out who their relatives, who they were related to, and that's happened over and over again. And so the things that I found, I brought a lot, I exposed a whole lot of my own story in the process that I went through, all the trials and tribulations of how I went through the process, and I have a ton of information, documentation, and in my discoveries, I found out that my great-grandparents, we thought they came maybe 1900s. Some came in a little later. They came into California when California became a state, 1850s. 1850, not 1940s, not that migration, the other migration, right. That other Underground Railroad, and they came from New Bedford, Massachusetts. I found out that my great-grandfather, or my maternal great-grandfather, was an abolitionist. We thought he was just a shoemaker, and that he made shoes, boots, and prosthetic legs over here in San Francisco. And matter of fact, down the street and around the corner on 4th and Harrison is where his shop was. I found all these advertisements that looking at the dates. 1852, then I found out he was part of the color convention movement. Have any of you ever heard of the color convention movement in San Francisco? 2 people. This information is absent in the schools. It should be part of the curriculum. It should be part of all the lesson plans to find out not only about the color convention movement, but all the other little communities of African Americans who came here from Virginia, from Boston, Massachusetts, from Philadelphia, and all those neighboring states that were able to get the freedom and come out here. So I'm working on, this is a little document, this is just an overview of what I did. So it's real short. The time went into these 3 or 4 hour workshops that we did. And we sat down and picked through stuff. And how to read this census record, how to go find this record, and also what local agencies are at our disposal now, but even the national ones. But you got to know something about yourself and your family before even going on those sites, or you'll get lost in in the down the rabbit hole. So this is oh. You can run it now.